Hi everyone, welcome to your July tarot card reading. Thanks so much for being here. I have two quick announcements. The first about my schedule, and then the second about my services and changes to my channel, okay? First of all, if you're interested in booking a private reading, I'm only going to be available the first couple of weeks of July, sort of piggybacking from June, okay? I'm moving to Europe, and I'm going to need a couple weeks to travel there, get settled, find a place, an apartment, all that good stuff. So I'm just going to be, my mind's not going to be in the proper place to be doing private readings. So I'll keep my website up, but if you book, at the last part of July, I'm probably not going to deliver your reading until August. So I just wanted to let you know that as well. Changes to my services, okay? I'm officially undergoing, learning astrology. I'm beginning. I would never call myself an astrologer at this point in time, and I've said that many, many times. But I am going to start offering software generated reports alongside your tarot card reading. So if it's your birthday and you want your birthday solar return snapshot, I'll be able to offer that for you. If you want, your next 3, 6 months or a year-long transit report, types of things that you can expect, progressing reports, all those types of things. Again, it's not my interpretation, it will be computer generated, but it will be an add-on to your tarot card readings if that's something that you guys want. As far as astrocartography, I'm going to be offering a little bit of a service since I am learning and really delving into that realm of astrology. I will be offering some analysis for that as well within the next couple of weeks. You'll be able to book that on my website. It'll be very basic, very simple. It will be very cost effective because again, I'm not a professional yet, so I'm still learning, so you'll kind of need to bear with me and just deal with the fact that I might take, a more simplistic approach to it and just kind of do some pinpoints and some bullet points for you and that kind of thing. My channel is going to expand and begin to incorporate more astrology as well because it is truly a passion of mine. Not so much talking about transits and what this full moon means. I think we all kind of have, if you like that kind of thing, you probably have an astrologer that you like already. So I don't want to try to piggyback on anyone else. I kind of want to take a little bit of a different road with it and offer something unique and something very different and something that I hope provides value. But that will come in time as I study and as I grow and as I learn. It will come in time. But I just want to let you know that my channel will be changing. I will likely change the name of my channel as well. And when I feel comfortable, then I will begin to offer private or personalized astrological readings for you, okay? But in the meantime, thanks for listening. Enjoy your July reading. And that's it. Thank you so much. Bye. Hello Aries, how are you? Welcome to your July reading. Thank you so much for being here. Super excited to be doing this for you. This one just popped out, so I'll pull it. Let's go ahead and just dive right in. I've already prepared the deck for you, so let's just get started. Okay, so 9 of Wands popping out, coming out for you. I don't know whether to preempt this reading or not. Yeah, I'll do it. Okay. A lot of the signs have been having very heavy reading. You may have already watched, other signs. Very intense. There's a lot of soul transformation going on. Actually, just this morning, I subscribed to the Leo King app, which is an astrologer, and he just posted a notification and it said, follow your intuition, you're on the right track. But be prepared for some very gnarly changes. And I had to laugh because it's like, oh my gosh, that's the perfect word. I never used the word gnarly, but it's the perfect word to describe what we're all going through. It's intense, it's hard, it requires fundamental revision to our cultural and our conditioned makeup, okay? And it's putting us all in this extreme retraction. So So dynamics between two people is challenging enough as it is. We also have to work together, coexist, live together, do things together. We also have to do that. But to just have space in your life for yourself right now is very important. And you're here doing that very well. It's the perfect card for protection and keeping yourself safe. But there's also an element of courage and fighting, you know, being your own cheerleader, being your own support system, becoming self-reliant, becoming bright, and doing the internal work that is needed with optimism and with like having no problem with it, you know, and fighting for that, and making sure you're putting yourself, you're giving importance. I'm not necessarily, now some of you have children and you are married and things like that, but essentially putting yourself first and taking care of your soul's needs right now. What's challenging you is the star. Oh God, I gotta tell you, I need to check the chart. I'm studying astrology and I'm doing these readings and I didn't even check the charts. I don't even know what I was thinking, but like for reals, I gotta tell you, there is so much Aquarian energy right now. There must be something happening with Uranus or something, I don't know, or in the 11th house, I don't know, but like for reals, it's whether it's you dealing with an Aquarius maybe, or someone of that nature. But let me just talk about the star for a moment, not Aquarius, but the star. It is a card of optimism, idealism, which in the challenge position I'm seeing as though maybe you aren't being idealistic, rather more realistic with your optimism. I see this as being optimistic, okay? So maybe not idealistically so. Oh no, it's raining. You guys, the rain gets loud on my roof. If it gets too loud, I'm gonna stop my camera. Idealism, eccentricity, individualization, innovation, creativity. So I'm sensing a very down-to-earth vibe, or a very fiery vibe, since we're talking to an Aries with wands in the integral position here. Not so dreamy, not so much in your own world, being very aware. See, she's very much watching, she's very much looking. You know, she's not just sitting there idly. She's observing. She is an observer of what is happening, what others are doing. You're not in your own little world. Very aware. And the Fool in your foundational position. Look, the Fool is a beautiful thing. But you don't, I'm going to stop saying the words blank slate, because it is absolutely not a blank slate, right? You've been through a significant portion of your life already. So there are no blank slates in life. There are no like clean breaks. The Fool simply represents a new direction, right? You've made a decision and now you're going in a new direction, but you bring with you all of your knowledge and all of your wisdom from past experiences. So knowing that it's not going to be easy, knowing that it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be a fairy tale, because you know that because you've already lived that it's not perfect. You've lived the imperfection. And I think you're coming to a place where you are maybe accepting the realism of life in some way. Accepting that life requires bending and flexibility. It requires finishing things, which Aries as the cardinal fire sign, the first sign of the zodiac. It's not just about beginning. Like, you're in your element here with a new beginning, but you got to carry it through and see it to the end. And that is life. Five of Wands. There was obviously some type of drama in your life. Could be power struggles with a partner, competitiveness, battling, argument. Doesn't have to be a partner, could be anybody. You know, games, manipulation, things that kind of like make life harder than it should be. But it's in the past. And the Hermit in the future, if you're reversed Hermit in the future. So this is, I'm wondering, I'm questioning your focus right now, Aries, or in the upcoming months, because your challenge may be blocking out the noise of others and truly finding that sense of self, the individual, you, okay, and not you as a reflection of others. Your partner, let's say, your person of interest, you know, not defining yourself based on how they treat you, how they interact with you. That's not who you are, per se. What you are is what you allow. That's who you are. But just because they treat you in a certain way doesn't mean that that's the reality of it. And getting to a very realistic place where your idealism isn't driving you, okay? I'm really seeing like a lot of analysis and strategy with that Nine of Wands, which I don't normally see, but like purposeful maneuvers, not to beget outcomes, but in terms of self-preservation, saving yourself, looking out for yourself. Because in the past, obviously it wasn't working. Obviously it was games. Obviously it was childish. No more. No more. The line has been drawn in the sand. You are what you allow. And maybe your learning comes from maybe not trying so hard to define yourself, but to just let yourself just be. The High Priestess reversed. Major, major, major. Major. 4 of 6 majors so far. Your subconscious, your intuition, your darkness. I call it the darkness, but it's not like bad. Okay, I'm not sure what happened. My camera just stops randomly. I have to use my phone now because my camera, even though it's a new camera and a new SD card, it's still like not working. Mercury retrograde never gave me a break. And now we're heading into a new one and I'm freaking out. Like, I can't take any more technology problems. I just can't. Anyway, so I pull out the High Priestess, okay? And I was talking about how it's like that. I think you're having a difficult time accessing or pinpointing the specific pain point, the specific thing that needs to come out in order to heal, in order to self-actualize, self-love, and to recognize yourself as an individual and not in relation to anyone else. And the High Priestess reversed can be frustrating because sometimes it's like you tell yourself that you think it's one thing, right? And you convince yourself that this is the area that needs to be worked on. This is the area that needs focus. But that's just you and what you think, but you're not allowing spirit to come through you. You're not allowing yourself to listen. Listening is very, very important right now. And when I say that, you know, people are like, meditate, cleanse, and do your chakras. And like, I'm living in Bali, and I'm so sick of people telling me to get my chakras aligned because I'm having problems in something. Listen, this is a ongoing thing, okay? This isn't something that's going to happen with one like energy healing session or like one yoga or like sitting there and meditating for, you know, an hour or whatever it is. It's not that. It's a process. But a process where you need to stop trying so hard. Stop trying to define yourself and to tell yourself that you are something, instead of just allowing yourself to just be. See, the thing about the Aquarian energy, no apologies. No apologies for who they are. They are an individual. They are who they are. They have a free and radical mind. They explore, they challenge, they innovate. I'm not saying to be more like Aquarius. We all have Aquarius in us. I think you need to tap into that Aquarian part of yourself. Seriously, Aquarius is popping out all over the place. This is like Aquarius's month, even though it's the month of Cancer. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just me. But I don't even have any Aquarians in my life, really. But allow for your own existence. You need to create space in your life for your own personal growth. Stop trying to tell yourself that you need healing in a specific area because it's likely that you're fooling yourself. The Enchantress of Swords. And these always come out together. I'll tell you, it's like a curse or something. Like there's something with this deck. When I get the High Priestess, like 85% of the time, I also pull out the Enchantress of Swords. This is the card of Libra. Air qualities are in your cards this month. All right. She is the prophetess. She is the keeper of the scrolls of truth. She is the doorway, the gateway. She's the channel. You know, see, there's channeling at play here, or a need for channeling. The universe wants to give you stuff. It wants to allow you to do this whole transforming thing, these gnarly changes that we're all supposed to experience. It wants us to do that. But you need to allow it and to create that space. You need to invite the messages. And like I said, like one meditation, one yoga class, one chakra, whatever, surrounding yourself with crystals, like that's all great and fine and dandy, but this is deep-rooted soul work. And it's not just going to happen in a couple nights or a couple weeks. It's really getting to significant past. Again, this is deep. This is a heavy month for a lot of us, especially like I'm going to throw Capricorn under the bus because, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. Their reading was so hard. And if you want, you should watch it, even if you aren't even, if you have no Capricorns in your life and nothing in your chart, you should still watch it because it was I don't know, I was very, very in a good place when I did that, even though it's hard. But let's just keep going. Ace of Coins. See, your environment is that of planting new seeds and receiving rewards and receiving tokens and receiving opportunities for actualization of what it is you are choosing to manifest right now. The Ace of Coins is an opportunity to grow a garden, okay? And a garden from nothing. And it is often coming out as if from nowhere. Financial rewards for some of you as well. There could be a lot of career growth going on. Financial, or you know, in terms of romantic capacity, a new love or a new chance. Someone giving you a new chance. It's likely you're not giving someone else a chance. It's likely them giving you a chance. And the Enchantress of Cups. Being in a hope or a fear of the intensity of your own emotion, and a fear of this water kind of drizzling down toward the Ace of Cups, coins, I'm sorry. The intensity of the desire to have, but also the fear of having what it is you desire. See, and there's kind of human nature, whether you're Aries or any other sign, we tend to do that. We tend to want the things that we think we want, and then we get them and we realize that that's not what we wanted at all. But that's just a fear that what you want is only coming out of your intense desire to have it, but not necessarily being what's best. Two of Swords, the crossroads, the decision, the point of decision, the point of change. It's an exciting time. I love the Two of Swords, to be honest with you. You should too, Aries, as the initiator, to be able to, I mean, Mars is a very aggressive energy, right? So it's decision and go. Make the decision and go. So there's not a lot of hemming and hawing here. There's not a lot of like, oh, I don't know what to do. You have the access. This is you, Aries. I fully believe this is you. Queen of Swords. Super on point. Super intuitive if you allow it. Okay, super on point, super smart, super like ready to go, has the answers, knows the truth, knows what needs to be done, and then makes the decision to do it. Okay? Whoa, okay. I gotcha. 10 of Cups and the Devotee of Coins, 10 of Cups reversed. See, the idealism challenged with the Aquarian, with the star there. The idealism coupled with the pie in the sky and see, there's a little bit of a conflict here. Maybe what you had in the past, what you wanted in the past wasn't, I see like this being driven crazy. Like, oh, there's such an element of frustration with this Fool card, because it's like you're moving into that new chapter, but not like with this deck. Again, I read this deck differently than my Rider-Waite. It's not like necessarily the most welcome chapter, but you move with force because you know that forward is the only direction, that you absolutely don't have a chance, or you don't even have a choice to go backwards. So you must go forwards. And I'm seeing a lack of offer or a lack of communication as likely being that motivator. Okay? And the disappointment with the 10 of Cups, like everything you could have had that didn't come. And now you just move forward. But something else is coming. Something else is in your realm. I don't know what this is for you. Everyone is going to be different. Something else is coming. Okay. I'm going to talk about work for a moment, even though this is supposed to be a love reading, because I think some of you will find a sense of identity through your work. Find freedom to be your true self. Find freedom to explore your strengths and your talents in a productive way, and kind of leaving the messiness sort of behind with the relationships just temporarily as you kind of get everything sorted out. Devotee of Swords, another page, Page of Swords, Page of Coins, both in the reversal. Both in the foundational and past positions, meaning that you're moving away from it. I kind of see these readings as going like this direction here, like that, okay? And this is, you weren't learning. You weren't learning. Your stubbornness and the power struggle to show that you were right prevented you from being a student of yourself, prevented you from learning about yourself and learning about the other person. And likely they were doing the same thing. Okay, if we are talking about an air sign, okay, we've got a couple of air qualities here, card of Libra, card of Aquarius, and then just like air in general, so including Gemini there. But if we're talking about Aquarius, okay, and then you got a fixed air sign, and there's no chance in hell you can tell an Aquarian to do anything, and yet you are trying. Again, you could be dealing with a Sagittarius or a Virgo or a Taurus, whatever, doesn't matter, but it's that vibe, that sort of style of personality, okay? And they weren't studying you either, adding to the frustration, adding to the tension. And Temperance reversed. Two major arcanas in reversed in the future position. I see this as being a little bit of turbulence, all right? A little bit of like feeling out of balance, but it's natural. It's natural for us to feel out of balance when we're going through, you know, change, gnarly changes. I'm going to keep saying that because I love the imagery of it. And I think of just like a tree, you know, one of those old trees that's like 300 years old, and it's huge and it's big and it's got all these knots to it. But somehow, in spite of the environmental conditions, this tree grew past the gnarls, and it expanded and it spread and it established those roots deep into the ground, and nothing prevented it from growing. And the Chariot speaks very well with the Nine of Wands, which we pulled out first. You know, that crab, this is, sorry, you're like, well, the crab. This is the card of Cancer, which is the symbol symbolized by the crab, the hard shell, the tough exterior. That is its protection, to protect its vulnerability, to protect its deep world, its world of depth and emotions and, you know, the complexity of their personality. You know what you've had to do to get where you are. Like I was saying with the Fool, like it's not a blank slate, it's not clean, it's not easy. You emerge from the shade like ferociously, as Mars does, okay? Making decisions to take action, to do something, to move in a specific direction, and not looking back because you can't. Not reliving, not rehashing, not going back here, but charging forward. Okay? You have like outside energies running parallel with inside things going on. And I just don't want to see your inner work being overshadowed by the outer stuff and leaving the inner work behind, because then you will be destined to repeat and go through this again. Threads of fate. So something isn't quite ready to turn over. The universe isn't quite ready to hand you the keys to your new car, okay? So in spite of your desire to charge, the universe and fortune and good things is like, let's scale it back. Let's not be so fast. That's the thing about Mars. It's very fast, very impulsive. And the universe is saying that's not going to fly right now. It's just not going to work. It has something in store for you, no doubt. Okay, oh, 10 of Swords. See, even though this is a coin and this is a sword, we have a 10 and a 1. So there is a closure. I believe it's the closure of this not learning. You're going to have to take a new approach. Because if you do the same thing again, what's the saying is, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You will go insane, okay? Like, you will drive yourself crazy if you keep doing it the same, if you do it the same way. There needs to be a gnarly change, okay? And in so doing, acknowledging the shattering of your illusions, this dream state, this idealism, all right, even though you're not idealistic right now, and I think it's the idealism that's getting in your way, it is the idealism that's getting in your way. Did that make sense? Like, you're not idealistic, you have a realistic thing, but it's because you're being forced, those illusions have broken down now. And you realize that it is your ideals and the perfect way of doing things, right? 10 of Cups reversed, the perfection of everything, the expectations coming crashing down. And now you are left to plant a new seed and begin again. You're getting a little bit of a do-over, I think. A do-over, but you better do it differently. And a hope of, look, I'll be straight up, family. This is a picture of a family. I'm so happy the deck creator, whoever this was, who was this, created by J.D. Hildegard Hinkle. Hildegard Hinkle, I'm sorry. Put this artwork on the Hierophant card, the father figure, the family. All right, some of you are really hoping for a family, you're hoping for marriage, you're hoping for that institution, that sense of security. All right, this is the card of Taurus, a card very much aligned with security, being the second house of this astrological wheel, and just the having of everything. And the Six of Wands is a card of victory. But again, a victory of a battle, not a war. It's only a number 6. It's not a 7, an 8, a 9, or a 10. I said this in Pisces too. The battle's only about 50%. You still have more to do. You're at a new place, okay? There's a new game at play. You're playing a new game. Let's say that. You're playing a new game. You're no longer playing chess. Now you are playing the game of life. I don't know. That was stupid. Life is easier anyway. Chess is harder. You made your life harder than it should have been. The Artisan of Wands. the architect, the designer, but also the creator, the one who has the ability to simultaneously consider design and aesthetics alongside mathematics and logic. All right, I see this as being a very dual-minded person. It's the card of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius being ruled by wisdom and overall understanding. Aries, that may be your, maybe that's like the specific that I was talking about, that specific thing deep-rooted in your subconscious that needs to be unlocked is understanding. Right? Not like the knowing, which is more of a Gemini energy, not the knowing of things, not the data, not the information, but the understanding and application, the doing of things. All right? Applying the wisdom that I know you have acquired over the years to make your life better. Strength, no doubt. Obviously, you've had to be strong. Obviously, you've had to persevere. You've had to keep going. You've had to keep trying. Obviously, you've had to do these things. And this is the card of Leo. Maybe some of you are dealing with a fire sign. I'm getting a couple fire and air, a mixture, okay? I'm sorry I'm pausing for such a long time. I always say this is taming your beasts. You know, taming the unruly aspects of our lives and gaining control over the things that seemingly we can never get control over. Now, I'm learning about astrology, as I said in my intro, if you watched it, but the name of the game is to stop trying. We have Chiron, which is a comet that kind of, you know, orbits between Uranus and Jupiter. And we're getting Jupiter, threads of fate, and we're getting Uranus with the star Aquarius, okay? And even though this is the sun, I'm getting a very Chiron vibe. Chiron provides the balance between the unruly, rebellious nature of Uranus and, oh, did I say Jupiter? I'm so sorry, I meant Saturn. And even though this is the card of Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, I've said in another video, I always see this as being ruled by Saturn because it's more Saturnian in nature, in my opinion, okay? I don't know why I said Jupiter, but it's Chiron is between Uranus and Saturn, and it sort of acts as the balance between the two. And the story with Chiron, I'm gonna say this, I know this is a long video, I said this in Capricorn, I'm gonna make a video about this separately, but I am gonna tell you, please bear with me, it's gonna be a couple minutes as I tell this story. Chiron was a centaur who was the child of, I forget who the parents were, but like a titan, a god, and a female mortal, or no, like a nymph, like a woodland nymph, okay? And the child, Chiron, was born half man, half horse, centaur. But because of the grotesqueness of the child, both parents rejected it. Okay? And not only being a centaur, but being an immortal centaur. Rejection, okay, rejection from home and family, he then became You know, he was adopted and trained to be a healer. Very different from the rest of the centaurs, a more calm nature, a more balanced person, where the centaurs were known for being rebellious and, you know, unruly and being, you know, terrors. He decides to go and live in the woods and becomes a, you know, a world-renowned healer, and healed and mentored gods like Hercules and mortals and Achilles and Apollo, okay? And became a very influential person, or an influential person in Greek history. And between a battle between Hercules and the other centaurs, Chiron gets caught in the middle and gets struck with a poisoned arrow from Hercules, okay? And he's doomed with a wound that will never heal. And a wound that will never heal for an immortal is a life, an eternity of pain. Okay, so the only way would be to find a way for safety or for goodness is for Chiron to find an outlet, right? So Prometheus at the time was being punished by Zeus for providing fire to the mortals. He took fire from Mount Olympus and gave it to the mortals so they could create metals and things like that. So Zeus was punishing him, tied him to a rock. And every day an eagle would come and eat parts of his liver, and then the liver would grow back. So the next day the eagle would come back, and it's like this whole thing. So anyway, Hercules felt so bad that he organized for Prometheus to get the immortality from Chiron, so long as Chiron would take Prometheus's place. And this was the arrangement. So Chiron loses his immortality, and Prometheus is set free, and Chiron can then die and find peace. Zeus was so touched by this gesture from Chiron that he made the centaur a constellation in the sky to be immortalized for eternity. That's the sign of Sagittarius, okay? The reason why this is important, and the reason why I'm saying it, and the reason why I'm going to make a video, is because sometimes you have to relinquish your power. This is a really roundabout way of saying it, and I apologize. Thanks for bearing with me if you did. Didn't shut me off. But, you know, you have to relinquish and give in. And it's almost as though your power is in the place of your life, in the place of your subconscious, that seemingly you have no power. Because here we have a wounded centaur that needs to feel better, right? And the only way out is to die. That's the only way. But to be immortalized anyway after that, you know, and to have this unbelievably significant and high quality reward for leaning into the pain and using that pain, you know, because Chiron could have very easily been like, no, I'm an immortal, and I'm going to live my life, and I'm going to make my mark on this world, and I will be the martyr, and I will feel sorry for myself and all of this, and like, you know, whatever. But he didn't. He made the ultimate sacrifice in order for the betterment of everyone around him. And you know, sometimes your sacrifice is giving into your ultimate weakness, you know? And I think that there's a power in you, Aries, that you view as a deep insecurity, or you view as deep-rooted issues from your childhood, but in so facto, that is the thing that makes you the most powerful. Because that is what you have to give. That is the most of what you have to give. In essence, your wound is your power, okay? And you will beget rewards if you were to lean into that and to expose that wound, all right? Now, that may be confusing for you, and I'm so super, super sorry for that, but you know, I feel like that's an important story. And I feel like, because I'm so personally touched by it, like, let's just keep going here. Because I don't know why I am. I just have had maybe a recent Chiron breakthrough or something, but it really spoke to me during the Capricorn sign. It's speaking to me now with you guys. And it's just like one of those things that is constantly our challenge in life that we keep running into over and over. And like, why can't we be successful? It's like those people that work their whole life to make millions of dollars, and yet they are still so unhappy. And it is the success itself that feeds that insecurity, and it keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. So if you don't try so hard and you don't give power to the insecurity, you know, you don't use the insecurity to feed another direction in life, if you don't do that, you're going to heal and you're going to mend that wound. It's, you know, to use the wound as fuel to have the things that you want, but to not try too hard for it. It's the weird balance. Remember, it's that balance between the eccentricity and the crazy and unpredictability of Uranus and Saturn, that cold, stern teacher, and it's that middle ground. Finding the middle ground, and there is the healing. Nine of Cups is your pride. I'm concerned about your pride. This has been coming up for a lot of signs. I'm concerned about it because it is going to be the catalyst for reverting back. It's so important for you to be open and see. Even the Seven of Cups is coming out as, but again, I see it very closely linked, I don't know why, to the star of creativity and eccentricity and being open to anything and not being open to just the things that you want, right? To not try so hard, to allow the things that you need to come to you, and not you trying so hard to go to the things that you think you need. I hope I'm making sense. I totally went on a rant. Hope you guys stayed with me. Seven of Coins, another seven. Seven with the, did I pull out the Chariot? Oh yeah, I did. Chariot here, Chariot. The investment. Is it worth it, guys? Is it worth it? What's the return on your investment? For some of you, it's a very high. You're hopeful that it's everything, but the past has shown you that it falls short. Everyone's going to be different. Everyone's going to have a different thing with, oh, did I forget a placement? I totally forgot a placement. But you know what? That was meant to happen, I think. Justice, another air sign, another card of Libra. Now, I believe, so Libra is ruled by Venus, shared with Taurus. However, I believe Libra should be ruled by Chiron. That is my personal opinion. I'm not, you know, I have no authority here. But when you think about it, Libra being the scales of balance between the most erratic and the most balanced and the most stern, I guess, if you will, being the one that evens everything out. The middle ground. Stop trying so hard, Aries. And everything you want can be yours. Eight of Coins. Appreciation for life as though it is a work of art. Appreciation for what is. In a career reading, this is about hard work. I see it almost as like a card of Virgo. Hard work, details, doing what needs to be done, expectations met, producing, going, systematic production of things. Great. But you need to take a moment to appreciate what life is and what life has given you. And the Six of Swords reversed. Be careful not to give in to the temptations and to not give in to the the lure of the siren song, because the song of the siren itself is a good song. It reminds you of home. It reminds you of comfort. It reminds you of love. It reminds you of all the amazing and beautiful things that you had in your life. Had, past tense. But the ultimate goal of the siren is to lure you in, to tempt you to your ultimate demise. It's not a good thing. Sirens are not good. The song is good, but the intent and the motive behind it is very, very bad. And it concerns me that it's reversed, because I think the temptation to revert backwards will be very great. It is now your moment to shine, to put your pride aside, and to not forget where you came from, okay? And to not think that it's going to be different another time around. Yes, the Fool is a new circle, a new cycle, a new chapter. Yes, it is. But coming with this are all the previous chapters of your life. You don't just have a book that starts randomly at the beginning of a story. No, there's like an introduction. There's introducing characters, introducing the setting, introducing, the plot. It's all in the beginning chapters of life. And it is all the previous chapters that have gotten you here. So you can't forget the rest of the story. You can't forget that. And to know that as a sailor being tempted by the siren song, you need to know that by giving in, you will ultimately be setting yourself up for failure. Okay? Super heavy, you guys. I'm not going to, sugarcoat stuff. I had a really, frustrated person comment on my Capricorn, which I was expecting, being like, you are so negative, you are so pessimistic, you must be a Virgo, which I am. But but it just, Leo King said it too, gnarly changes, and that's what it is. And you need to grow around the gnarl, if you will, grow around it, and become a tree in spite of the challenge. All right. Super deep, super heavy. Okay, you guys, I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you so much. Good luck, and I will see you next month. Thank you so much. Bye.